Middle and high school can be daunting environments, even under the best circumstances. 21st century students are faced with a wide variety of distractions and challenges to achieving academic success. One challenge students encounter is finding an adult that they can trust and can provide them positive and supportive advice. Talent Development's report card conferences offer a solution to this challenge by affording students the opportunity to have a caring adult review their attendance, behavior, and course performance as part of the report card, and praise and support them to continue the good work and discuss with them ways they can improve. The conferences also give students the opportunity to speak with adults who reinforce the value of success in school and encourage them to get help when experiencing difficulty in passing their courses. In talent development schools, TDS facilitators, teachers, and staff are looking continuously for ways to develop a sense of intrinsic motivation in students, motivate students to stay focused on school and academics, acknowledge and celebrate student achievements and successes, create positive interventions when students are struggling and falling further behind. Report card conferences are designed to prevent academic failure and be an intervention for all students, but especially those who are at risk of falling off track. The conferences give students an opportunity to change their behaviors and succeed in the ABCs of attendance, behavior, and course performance. Conferences are held each quarter after students receive their progress reports or report cards. Each student meets one-on-one with a caring, non-judgmental mentor. Mentors are most often members from the local business community, but can also be a teacher or staff member who doesn't work directly with the student. Retired school staff are also another great resource for mentors. Mentors are recruited to discuss grades, attendance, behavior, and reinforce the value of effort, attending, and succeeding in school. Community business partners are ideal conference mentors. Students are often more open to discuss their struggles with people they do not know, rather than with school personnel. Mentors can also share their own struggles and provide hope, optimism, as well as insights into what it takes to succeed. Mentors also understand how to help students reflect, set goals, and monitor their progress and academic growth. In some cases, mentors have continued working with students throughout the school year and even offered students internships or job shadowing opportunities.
It's so important to invite the community into report card conferencing with your students. I think it keeps the stakeholders invested in what it takes to move a kid from point A to point B and ultimately graduation. I think community members come in and they bring a different perspective than maybe in-school people would bring to a conference with a student about why they're not progressing. You know, in one community in particular, there's a president of a homeowners association in that community who was invited to participate in report card conferences in a urban high school. And she wasn't sure what to expect. But after conferencing with the student and kind of going through the flow of things with those of us who were showing her what would happen, she thought this would be a good idea. And then after going through the process and meeting the kids and going over the contract and simply asking kids, what do you think it'll take to get you back on track? She said, whether I can come or not, invite me to know that this school has taken this very serious. The overall needs of a kid and not just one part of school, which is their grades, but like helping the whole child be successful. That's the importance of bringing the community into report card conferences.
Report card conferences serve as a powerful tool that helps adults engage students in meaningful discussions about their academic progress. In fact, when USA Today reporter Greg Topo visited Baltimore Talent Development High School's report card conferences in 2006, he came away so impressed with the event that he wrote a story that appeared on the front page. The S4 facilitator and school transformation facilitator should take the lead from talent development in planning an organized and efficient conference, especially when outside community members participate. The facilitators should work with teachers, school staff, and administrators to coordinate a schedule of which students will attend report card conferences and in which period of the day. Decide which teachers or staff members will be assisting with the process. Work with academy administrators to notify teachers of conference times in advance, typically with a memo. Organize and provide community mentoring partners with materials and instructions. and reserve the area of the building where the conferences will be held. Typically, conferences are hosted in a public space within the school. This might include the cafeteria, the library, media center, or other area that can host one or more classes of students at any given time. The space should be large enough for participants to sit apart from one another and create a sense of privacy for students as they confer about their report cards. Lastly, the organizers will want to take time before conference day to orientate staff members to the report card conference process. Remember to leave a reasonable amount of time to allow the staff an opportunity to ask questions. In the weeks and days leading up to the report card conferences, S4 facilitators, the STF, instructional coaches, and other school staff will also compile the necessary materials, forms, and documents needed to run an organized, successful report card conference. Conference participants must have copies of student report cards, student sign-in sheets to keep an accurate record of which staff member spoke with which student during the day, certificates of recognition for students with strong grades, documents outlining academic progress and graduation requirements to review with students, and forms that aid students in communicating with a teacher in the course where he or she may be struggling. At the beginning of the conference day, staff members meet at the designated space and collect the appropriate certificates, forms, and sign-in sheets. Normally, it is best to have 5 to 7 mentors available to confer with students during any given time. Each individual student-mentor conference typically lasts between 3 to 7 minutes. Before working with students, mentors should be provided with an overview training that consists of the conference process, the goals for the day, specifics about the types of subjects that can and should be shared with a teacher or counselor, and of course, thanking the mentors for their support and participation. Additionally, it is important to review with mentors the documentation procedures for concerns that a student may raise that should be shared with their teacher or counselor, any report card discrepancies, and strategies on how to respond to students if they bring up personal information. The most effective report card conferences include discussions of how the student feels about their progress and performance, review of the attendance, behavior, and course performance grades on the report card, awarding of certificates and acknowledgement of success, and discussion of areas for improvement when applicable. At the designated time, teachers bring their classes to the conferencing area. Often a coach or other staff member will help escort students to and from the conferencing area. Each class should be allotted at least 20 minutes in order to meet with the 25 to 30 students attending. Individual timings will obviously vary based upon the number of mentors.
If you have your report card, you can come on down.
After report cards for the first group of students are handed out, the teacher then directs each student to one of the conference tables.
How are you doing today? Good. Yes. Have you looked at this already?
After introductions are made, the mentor reviews the report card with the student and asks the student an open-ended question, such as, "How do you feel about your report card?" or "How do you think you did?"
You reviewed this. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? Because you know we want to know. So what comes to your mind when you see your progress report? Wow. You have regular attendance, kind of. So you've got 13 absent.
The goal is to have students reflect on their progress and to draw out any factors that may be preventing the student from excelling, such as health issues, loss of a loved one, bullying, pressure to join gangs, academic challenges, course or test anxiety. The mentor's notes on the conference help guide and inform interventions that can help the student overcome any issues that have surfaced.
Have you told your teacher or anything? Or you just say, I don't feel good. Okay. Now, I'm going to jump down to a question. Have you known that? I think it would create a different type of support for you and help you. So, if you could select a staff member, somebody I committed to it to you. I mean, literally not to change you, not to do it, but other things to help you. You know, like if you don't feel right and somebody else tells you anything, anyway, I can go talk to you. Who would you pick if you could?
See, I know nothing.
Think about your teachers. Is there any teachers that you have right now She's a great teacher too. I'm gonna tell Ms. Clark this, okay? And the reason I'm gonna tell Ms. Clark is we're in fourth quarter already. You know that, right? Like these grades came in April the 9th. April the 9th is gone. It's been 11 days since this went in. At that time, these were your grades. So we are now kind of in the middle of the fourth quarter. So what you're doing right now will count for this quarter. But then you get to your end of the quarter. The teacher's going to say, you've heard some of your teachers already say, this is going to be on a final exam. Right? Then that exam grade going to go right here. So what you're doing now is going to go here. The exam grade going to go here. Then they're going to divide it up. And it's going to create a grade like this. That's going to be your semester average. You definitely want your semester average to be like right here or higher.
For the next several minutes of the conversation, each student has the opportunity to speak candidly, one-on-one with the mentor about his or her grades. The mentor should allow students to discuss what they think went well and what needs improvement. The discussion should be specifically geared towards talking about how many credits the student needs in each content area to progress to the next grade level, other requirements or benchmarks a student should be able to meet to be successful in that grade, where the student needs to consider or could consider taking more coursework, and especially in high school, what graduation requirements may have been successfully completed already. After the student and mentor have the opportunity to discuss specific issues around the student's report card, the mentor should review the student's academic progress and the promotion and graduation requirements. To conclude the conference, the mentor completes the student's appropriate recognition certificates and any necessary intervention forms. Recognition certificates vary from school to school, but all students should receive a certificate. For instance, one may say, "Congratulations, you have passed all your courses." And a second form may say, "Congratulations, you are passing 3 of 4, you are almost there," and so forth. For students who have failed classes or demonstrated some other serious academic problem, the mentor and student discuss and complete a back on track contract. The contract provides an effective scaffold that students can use to engage a teacher in discussing how to recover in a class where they have received a failing grade or are at risk of failing. Filling out the contract also allows mentors to remind students about coach classes and available tutoring options.
What I want you to do is take this paper, go to your teacher and say, read it. I do not want to fail, right? I feel that my problems are because a result of what can we do from this point forward. Okay?
The report card conference is also an excellent opportunity to ensure students are aware of additional supports, extracurricular activities, their sponsors, and to encourage them to become involved in their school. Some mentors find the conference a good time to discuss high school students' post-secondary plans. It is also the ideal forum to discuss high school options, career academy pathway options, and choices. The mentor concludes the conference by thanking the student, answering any remaining questions, and sending the student back to their class.
Nice. Keep it up, please.
Before seeing the next student, the mentor records their name, the number of classes they passed, and any notes for follow-up on the recording sheet. Conferences are repeated until every student in a class has been seen. After all report card conferences have concluded, organizers should work with teachers to create a plan for closely monitoring students who received intervention forms or completed the back on track contract. The organizers should also review the passing rates, notes from the conferences, and other relevant data that may show instructional or climate trends that teams may need to address. With the intense challenges facing both students and teachers on achieving academic success, the Report Card Conference is an invaluable tool that can dramatically assist in keeping students motivated to stay focused on school and academics, allowing a forum to celebrate student achievements and successes, and creating positive interventions for all students, but especially for students who are struggling and falling further behind. The design of the conferences allows students to be recognized for achievements and helps staff to identify a student's risk factor early and be able to respond more quickly by designing a meaningful intervention.
It makes me do my work, come more to school, and just pay attention in class and try to keep on going till I finish.
The children, they want the extra help and they want to know the resources that they can use at home, and it was very helpful for a couple students to know exactly what they can do to help their grades.
Well, let me just say that in guidance, we do interim and report card conferences. But one good thing that's good about doing it this way, you can get every student, as much as we try, with everything else in our interruptions, we can't. So this is a good forum to do that. And another thing that I really liked doing was giving them the certificates for courses passed or for perfect attendance. So I thought it was a very positive thing that we did the past 2 days.
As a high school teacher, I found report card conferences to be very helpful to my team and I. They often occurred at a crucial time in the school year, the end of a quarter, at the end of a semester, which allowed us to kind of go back and help pull this kid from maybe failing a class to making some progress or ultimately passing the course. And at the end of them, to get the contract, the back on track contract that's created with the people who work with our students in report card conferences really helped me as a teacher kind of map out at exactly what a kid felt like they needed to do to progress in my class, and for me as a teacher, what they expected from me. I also believe report card conferences help us build relationships with students. So not only are we talking about your academic progress, but somebody in this building that is in addition to your classroom teacher is here to help you.
As a former principal, thinking about report card conferences, it was one of my favorite things to observe, and also I think it was one of the most successful things that we do in using this model. The thing about report card conferences is that it's very helpful to students and teachers. How it helps students is that it allows a student to talk to a responsible adult at least 3 times, or if not more, depending on how it gets sets up in your school. Watching the kids interact with outsiders, meaning community members, partners of the school, folks other than their teachers or parents. Kids are very candid and open in what they would say, and they're very truthful. So this way we can get very relevant information regarding the kid and how they feel about the course. And with that information, we can really use that information to help the kid improve, and also use that information to help the teacher improve with their instruction and build PDs around this information.
Talent Development Secondary envisions widespread transformation of our nation's schools into respectful, caring, and motivating learning communities that challenge all students to develop their unique gifts and talents and realize their highest academic and human potential. The Report Card Conference is one tool in TDS's model to help make this vision a reality. The conferences provide a positive setting and opportunity for all students to discuss their schoolwork with an adult. They provide an opportunity to not only intervene with students who are struggling, but equally important, to discuss with all students how they can improve, no matter what their current level. RCCs are a way to build stronger relationships between adults and students, and a way for students to take additional ownership over their learning. The conferences also benefit teachers, as they provide additional feedback on areas where students excel or what students find challenging. Thank you for viewing TDS's Coordinating and Conducting a Successful Report Card Conference. We hope you found its contents informative and encourage you to explore the other titles available in our instructional video series.